Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Tuesday, April 18, 2023. Today on The Young and the Restless, Noah and Allie return. Nikki encounters a familiar face and Chance and Sharon grow closer. At the jail, Diane tears up as she's brought into the room to visit with Jack. She tells him they took her ring. He assures her they'll get it back and asks if she slept at all. Diane croaks that all she could do was think about being at home in his arms and having a shower. Jack warns her it's time to face some difficult truths. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle questions waking up without Summer beside him. She checked on Harrison and crawled in with him. Kyle asks if she's okay. Sarah asks how she could possibly be. She wonders if Phyllis felt pain or if she was lucid enough to think about her and Daniel after she got out the word poison. Kyle says he was up half the night searching online for lawyers to defend his mom since they're still not sure if Michael Baldwin will be their guy. Summer fumes. Doesn't he think it's a little heartless or perverse to expect Michael to defend Diane in her mother's murder? Just then, Noah and Allie walk in. Summer rushes into Noah's arms and he holds her. At Crimson Lights, Christine tells Chance she filed the criminal complaint against Diane and asks him to talk her through the evidence. Chance tells her about the toxicology report, the vial of poison that is linked to Diane, the violence that night, and the history of antagonistic behavior. Chris tells him Jack told her they're going to plead not guilty and ask for bail. Chance thinks they'll deny her. He asks who is representing Diane. Chris says that the job is still open. At Society, Nikki calls Michael the man who restored her faith in attorneys. He wonders what he did to be worthy of the compliment. She says it's what he didn't do, represent Diane. If the best lawyer in Genoa City thinks she's guilty and won't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Michael reminds her their Constitution provides for everyone to get a fair trial. Nikki snips that the Founding Fathers never encountered Diane. Michael admits he got a call from Jack last night asking him to defend Diane. Nikki fumes that he cannot defend the woman who killed one of his best friends. At the Abbott house, Noah tells Summer he's so sorry they weren't there. Allie explains they were in London and flew back as soon as they could. Summer updates them on Phyllis's murder at the hands of Diane. Allie finds it hard to believe. Kyle agrees it is. Summer says all the evidence points to Diane. She doesn't know why anyone would doubt it. Allie thinks she seemed happy and wonders if there's something they've overlooked. Summer informs her husband that under the right circumstances, anyone is capable of murder. At the jail, Jack tells Diane there's a probability she'll be denied bail. She rants that she doesn't even have a lawyer. Jack will convince Michael to take her case. Diane explains that Lauren will never forgive him if he defends her. She wants someone who doesn't know about her past. Everyone else wants me dead. Everyone but you and Kyle. She wails that everything is stacked against her. I don't have a chance in hell. Jack reminds her she has him and they'll get through this together. At Society, Nikki and Michael bicker about whether or not Diane is a murderer. Nikki says his hatred of Phyllis is motive, and witnesses saw her threaten the redhead that night. Victor walks up and asks, "What, pray tell, is this all about?" At the Abbott house, Kyle insists the guilty party still hasn't been arrested. Summer knows he doesn't want to believe his mother is so evil, but the sooner he accepts it, the better. Kyle sneers about her being judge and jury and Summer retorts that she'll certainly be a witness. Noah and Allie try to break the tension. Noah asks Summer to come with him and get some food. Kyle says it's a good idea. He's still waiting to hear if Michael will represent his mom. Summer cedes still. Michael Baldwin? She turns to Noah and says, "Get me out of here, now." Allie tells Kyle she's so sorry. Kyle wonders what he's supposed to do. At the jail, Jack assures Diane he won't give up until he convinces Michael to take her case. Diane insists he won't do it and cries, "I just want to come home, Jack." She laments that this feels like a nightmare. Jack promises they'll get her through this, but she's unconvinced. Diane complains that Jeremy has the last laugh. Jack vows he won't let her pay for a crime she didn't commit. Their time is up, so Jack tells her he'll see her at the arraignment. Every moment that passes, he's working to get her back home. At Crimson Lights, Chance tells Christine that Jack and Diane are convinced Stark killed Phyllis and set her up. Christine questions Phyllis and Jeremy's marriage. Chance says Stark claims it was for protection. Chris doesn't buy that Phyllis would quail from Diane. Chance tells her that Jack and Diane framed him previously. He could have killed Phyllis for the money and framed Diane. Two birds, one stone. At Society, Victor joins Nikki in asking why Michael would be contemplating representing Diane. Jack arrives and Victor warns him not to keep Baldwin too long. He's on my payroll. Jack sits down with Michael, who asks how Diane is holding up. Jack says, "Not well. We still don't have an attorney. I know you don't want to hear this, but her future is in your hands." At Crimson Lights, Christine tells Chance when it comes to Stark, all they have is theories. Chance suggests he could talk to him again. Chris thinks it's worth a try and asks if he's still in town. Chance thinks so and confides that he's tracking his finances. Suddenly, he gets a call, groans, and says they need more boots on the ground. He hangs up and tells Christine that Stark checked out of his hotel right after sending Phyllis assets to his offshore account. It gets worse. No one knows where the hell he is. At the Abbott house, Kyle complains to Allie that Stark is behind this whole thing, having wanted revenge on his mom. Allie supposes it makes sense. Kyle recaps the feuds involved. Allie guesses he thinks Stark killed Phyllis and framed Diane, and asks, why not just kill Diane? She apologizes, but Kyle reassures her. He thinks Jeremy enjoys watching Diane suffer, and Phyllis was just collateral damage. He laments that there's no convincing Summer. The only way out is to prove her innocence, but they don't even have an attorney yet. As society, Michael confides in Jack that he's increasingly convinced that Stark framed Diane, but he can't take her case. Phyllis was their friend. Jack argues that Diane is defenseless against murder charges. Michael tells him Phyllis's spirit would haunt him until the day he dies. If he defended Diane and Lauren would be worse. Jack says the arraignment is in 1 hour. Michael snarls, is he really his last resort? Across the room, Nikki and Victor watch. Victor is sure Baldwin will do the right thing. At their table, Jack tells Michael that Diane was happy. It makes no sense at all for her to have done this. He complains that the real killer is on the streets, having gotten away with murder. Jack pleads, without you we are lost. Sharon emerges from the back as Noah and Summer walk into Crimson Lights. She hugs her son and asks if there's anything she can do. Noah and Summer head to the patio. Sharon joins Chance and wishes she could mend Summer's broken heart. This is going to be really hard on the kids. He agrees. On the patio, Summer confides in Noah. I just wish she could tell me she forgives me. I'll never get that. I'm just going to have to miss her like this for the rest of my life. At society, Victor leans on Michael to do the right thing. The mustache points out that if he took Diane's case, he'd have to ask for a leave of absence, and he might fire him. Michael gives them a funny look and walks off after wishing them a good meal. Outside society, Jack is on the phone with Kyle and Allie. Michael walks out, so Jack lets them go. Michael tells him they need to talk. Inside, Nikki tells Victoria by phone that her father just left. She'll get the office soon and will fill her in. As she disconnects, a voice behind her says, captivating, just captivating. Nikki turns to see Milton the accountant, who tells her he's divorced. If there was ever a chance for us, Nikki, this is it. Nikki informs him that it's just not going to happen, and warns her some people would be uncomfortable with how forward he is, like when he wanted her to live with him on that tropical island. Milton concedes, I can see how wrong that would be. He steps closer and suggests they could by matching motorcycles and ride across the country, camping and playing guitar under the stars. Nikki clucks, darling Milton, I don't play guitar. With that, she walks out. Milton muses, Nikki Newman, you are a golden goddess. On Crimson Light's patio, Noah tells Summer he wishes he could have been there and questions why she had the memorial service so fast. Summer had her reasons and promises him they'll do something special to honor her mom's memory. She becomes agitated about Kyle's mother and Noah says he's worried about her. Talk turns to Diane's arraignment. Summer needs to get going and tells Noah she'll be in touch. She loves him and is so glad he's home. Inside the coffee house, Kyle arrives looking for Summer. Sharon tells him she was on the patio. Kyle heads outside where Noah warns Kyle that even if he can prove Stark was responsible, Summer is going to be miles away from okay. Whether you like it or not, Stark's intentions in killing Phyllis come down to the same thing. Diane, she's the trigger. Summer's not going to forget that. More. Stafford teases how James Hyde could return at the jail. Diane is surprised to see Michael in the visitor's room. He's going to take her case but warns her not to celebrate. He just lost his best friend a few days ago, and she has no idea what that's like. He didn't make this decision lightly and informs Diane he requires one thing of her: the truth, at all times. Diane gives him her word and thanks him for taking her case on. I feel like I might have a fighting chance. I might actually go home. At Crimson Lights, Chance complains to Sharon that they haven't even called him to say what the judge decided. He rants to her about Stark taking off before his wife's murderer has even been tried. Sharon finds his thinking out loud fascinating. Chance muses that he doesn't usually talk to anyone about work. He trusts her, though it's weird. Nice weird. She's a good listener and objective. Sharon teases, I'd also make a pretty good cup of coffee. Sharon muses that there was a time when no one thought there was anything decent about her. Chance asks, were you a troublemaker? She laughs, Now, I'm a brownie maker. Chance tells her, you are a lot more than that, Sharon. A lot more. At the Abbott house, Michael reminds Jack that they knew bail was a long shot. Jack rudes and Kyle wants to know how they can get the police and the DA to investigate Stark. Jack says they'll do whatever they have to do, including hiring their own people. They'll do whatever is necessary to bring Diane home. At the jail, Diane is surprised to see Summer, who says this is exactly where her mother would want her to be. I'm not here for me, I'm here for you. You're probably terrified, aren't you? You don't know what's going to happen next, so I'm going to tell you what happens next. She predicts that she will be found guilty of killing her mother and will be locked up the rest of her life, never being able to spend time with her family or grandchildren. Summer snarks, and don't worry about Kyle, Diane. He's lived most of his life without you, remember? Summer continues that they'll all be fine and will move on, but she'll be stuck behind 4 gray walls, tortured by a world that doesn't want her. And then you will get exactly what you deserve for ripping my mother out of all of our lives. With that, she walks out. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and stay with us.